compliment of the season. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on when this video is coming up on your screen. Wish you all the celebration of in this season being the Xmas of 2023. Please do well to like our videos, invite friends, and subscribe, comment on our subjects. We don't only indulge in science subjects, we also indulge in all subjects. Today we're talking about chemistry and we're looking at elements. From our previous video on chemistry, we talked about classes of matter. And then we said the three classes of matter include elements, compound, and mixture. So today we're talking about elements. We're talking about everything about elements in this video. Stay tuned and please feel free to visit our Facebook page, drop your questions, your suggestions, or whatever you want us to do to make our video more acceptable to your taste. So today we'll talk about chemistry and our topic is element. So we have elements. Now, the question is, what's an element? We have question 1. What is an element? Then question 2. How many types of elements do we have? How many? How many types of elements have been discovered? Then we have 3. What's chemical symbol? Okay, number 4. Classes of elements. All right, so let's start with number 1. What's an element? Okay, an element is defined as any substance that cannot be decomposed or split into simpler structures by any chemical method. Don't forget that word, chemical method. So no matter the method you're using, you cannot split an element into simpler forms or natures or levels. Now, question 2 says, how many types of elements have been discovered? Okay, we have currently 110 elements have been discovered. Now, under this discovery of 110 elements, we have that 92 of them are natural. That is, they occur naturally. They occur what? Naturally, both at the Earth's crest and abundantly on the Earth's surface. Now, the remaining of these numbers of substances that have been discovered, or elements that are discovered, are known as man-made or artificial substances or elements. So that means we have about 18 of them that were formulated or developed in the lab by scientists. So in summary, we have 110 substances or elements, and 92 of these elements occur naturally, while the rest are man-made and artificial. Let's look at number 3. What's chemical symbol? Okay, chemical symbol of an element is defined as a way by which we represent elements using, or the way by which, or a system by which we represent elements using their letters. So that means, just like when you want to call favor, they can use F as the initial for favor. For those who answer maybe Kelvin, they use K. I get what I'm saying. Yes, that's the initial. So the knowledge of initial in English is used in chemical symbols of an element. So for instance, under chemical symbol, if you have something like, let me use this part, you have chemical symbol. So if you have something like hydrogen, the initial for hydrogen is H. Then oxygen is O. Then carbon is C. Now, it's not only carbon element that has C in its letter or spelling or expression. We have other ones that are like chlorine. Now in chlorine, what we do is that we take the first letter in capital form and take any other letter to signify that element. So chlorine has what we have C and L. Now we have chromium. Chromium is Cr. We have cobalt. We have cobalt, which is we have cobalt, which is CO. We also have calcium, which is Ca. So you see that in these ones that have two letters, the first letter is a capital letter, and the other one is a small letter. And this matter must come from the element, from that element. Just differentiating it, just the differentiate elements. Now we have other chemical symbols that has to do with Latin names. It has to do with their Latin name. Examples of these Latin elements where their symbols or their chemical symbols are gotten from the Latin name are something like iron. So we have iron that it has a Latin name called thorium. Then we have sodium, which has a Latin name called natrium. Then we have tin, which is called stentium. Stenium. Then we have lead, which is called plumbium. Then we have gold, which is called erium. Then we have silver, which is called argentium. Then we have mercury, which is called hydraradium. These are their Latin names. So we can see that for iron, in your textbooks or from your study, notice that the initial for iron is capital F and E. Now the reason for that is because that the abbreviation or the chemical symbol of iron is gotten from its Latin translation. So why sodium is known as Na? Okay, let me look for a place and clean to let me clean this once. Okay, so we have that for iron, the abbreviation of iron is Fe, then sodium, which is natrium, is Na, then tin, which is stenium, is Sn, then gold, which is orium, is Au, then silver, which is argentium, is Ar, or sorry, Ag, then we have mercury, which is hydrardium, which is Hg. Then we have lead, which is plumbium, we call it Pb as the initial. Is there anyone I've not touched? Anyone I've not touched, you can ask me the question on any of or maybe the comment section on YouTube or on Facebook. Okay, that is that. Now we're under the fourth one. Fourth question is classes of element. There are generally two classes of element, but in our study we extend it to three. So generally, the two classes of elements are metals and non-metals. But in a more separate and inclusive study, we talk about what we call metalloids. So now, the metals are those that have good conductivity, high boiling and melting point, that has ductility and malleability, and can reflect light. Those are metals. While the non-metals are those that cannot reflect light, except for diamond, and then are brittle and not ductile, are not malleable, are poor conductors of electricity. Now, metalloid are elements that form that intermediate between non-metals and metals. Examples of these metalloid are silicon, graphite, diamonds in some, when they are added impurities or all that. So that is that. Now, what are the physical properties of metals and non-metals? Don't forget, two classes of elements includes two kinds of elements includes metals, then non-metals. Then we have the one that falls in between, known as metalloid. Okay, so metals, non-metals are the two general ones. Then metalloids. So don't forget the physical property of metals include its ductility, malleability. Then they have high melting point and boiling point. They are good conductors of electricity. They have metallic lustre that reflect light. Are we together? The other property of then the properties of non-metals is that they are not ductile, they are not malleable, they are brittle, and then they are poor conductors of electricity. They do not reflect light. Most of the non-metals are gases. Examples of these gases are nitrogen, fluorine, oxygen, and the rest. So stay tuned, like our videos, please subscribe. Um, if you have a question, visit our Facebook page, sorry, any of our channels or handle. Our phone numbers are on the screen. You can reach us directly on those phone numbers. And don't forget to register all A levels and O levels exam. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. God bless you.